So we talk a lot about the positive things that are going to come out of working out, because that's what we want to do. That's what makes us feel good, is being able to talk about positive things, being able to reach our goals, positive things, how this is going to impact not only our lives for the better, but how it's going to impact our loved ones' lives for the other, how we're going to be able to run around with the kids more, be more active with the husband or wife, whatever you think of. It's a lot of positives, and we spend a ton of time talking about that. So today we're going to flip the script a little bit, and as much as I don't really like getting negative, I want to talk about the two hardest times to get started in the gym, or the two hardest times of your fitness journey, for instance. Number one, which I already kind of alluded to on accident, getting started. Getting started is tough, okay? You are not the only one that it is being tough for. That you're not the only person who's sitting outside of a gym right now just going, should I go in? What do I do when I get in there? Is there anyone going to be able to help me out? Am I going to look like an idiot? There's tons of questions, there's tons of insecurity, and let's face it, the gym is an intimidating place. If you don't know what's going on inside, and you don't know what you're going to do when you get in there, you might as well not even walk in there. So getting started is by far one of the most difficult times. It's actually the second most difficult time. You think it would be the first, but it's not. I'm going to get to that in a second. So getting started, getting your foot in the door, talking with somebody, meeting with a coach, bringing in an accountability partner, having a friend work out with you. That's the hardest thing. Just take that first step through the door, okay? And you have now gone over, succumb the second hardest time that there is in your fitness journey. The hardest thing you will ever do in your entire fitness career, getting back into it. What I mean by that is getting back into the swing of things after you have taken any kind of a break, any kind of a substantial break, not like a day or two rest, but that break can be as little as 1 week. That break can be as little as a couple days. Okay, whatever the case may be, getting back into the swing of things is so difficult. I can't even imagine. There's a couple reasons why it's really, really hard to do. One is you have been at this for long enough to understand, logically, understand the benefits of it. You have been at this long enough where emotionally you can feel the fact that you feel better. But it's still that, does it climb in the priority list? You haven't been at it long enough to understand the fact that you need to make it a priority. It's not just something you're going to fall into. Okay? The second thing is you haven't created discipline yet. You've been working off motivation. You've been that motivation just driving you day in and day out. That motivation's been getting you through the door. That motivation's been pushing you to bust your butt in the workout, and that motivation gets you back here the next day. Okay? But as I've alluded to in a past video, it is not motivation that continues to drive us forward. You have to get past the motivation, and you have to create discipline. Okay? So it takes time. It's, they talk about 30 days to create a habit. It's more than a habit. It's discipline, okay? So it's gonna take maybe longer than 30 days, but you have to keep at it long enough until you can feel that in yourself. Another reason that getting back in the swing of things is so difficult is it is disheartening. It is just a motivational killer. When you come into the gym that first time, you're gung-ho, you're excited to be back, yeah, I did it, I walked through the door, I accomplished it, I overcame that first step, and you go to slap some weights on the first, either machine, hopefully not, maybe you're doing a kettlebell, maybe you're grabbing a kettlebell, you go to do your first exercise, and you find out that that's a shiz ton harder than you thought it would be, and you get discouraged. And you, I don't understand. I was here a couple weeks ago, or I was here a couple months ago, or last time I was in that gym, I could do this. And you give it a couple more shots. Maybe you'll try a couple different exercises, find out that the same is true. You're not as strong as you were necessarily the first time that you were, the last time you were in the swing of things. And it's discouraging. And you fall off place. Sorry. You're not the only person it's happened to. Okay? That's where accountability partners come into play. That's where coaches come into play. That's where somebody who's going to push you to understand what's going on and be able to explain that you're not the only person this is happening to. You have to understand that you cannot be so hard on yourselves because, let's face it, every single one of us is going to fall into at least one of those categories. We all had to get started at one point. But we're all going to fall into getting back into the swing of things for one point or another, one reason or another, whether it was a vacation, whether it was a sickness, whether it was by choice, whatever. We've all taken time away from the gym and we've all needed to get back into it. We've all gone through this. So don't keep it to yourself. Reach out to somebody. Find a friend. Find a coach. Find an accountability partner who can help you through this. Because once you get back into the swing of things, it gets easier. And not just easier than it was when you first came back in, easier than it was in your initial phase, because now you know what you can be, and now you're going to drive yourself forward. Okay, so just understand that there's a light at every negative turn. Okay, we're going to get past this. We're going to do great things. You just can't be too hard on yourself. You got to give yourself a little bit of leeway.